I saw a video on my very good friend's YouTube channel, Audrey Coyne, and it was the top style tips that she would tell her younger self. I loved that concept, and it got me thinking about what I would tell myself when I was younger when it came to fashion, shopping, personal style, and everything in between. So in today's video, I want to share with you the 10 style tips that I would tell my younger self. And before we get into it, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. If you haven't heard BetterHelp before, they are the world's largest therapy service that is 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 certified therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. I've been doing therapy with a psychotherapist for years, and it is truly one of the things that has helped me get to know myself better and unpack a lot of these issues that I talk about and share with you guys on this channel. I meet my own therapist through video call online about twice a month. And with BetterHelp, you'll still get that in-office experience, but at your own convenience and in the safety and comfort of your own home. To get started, you just need to answer a few questions about your needs and your preferences, and then BetterHelp will match you with the right therapist from their network. And if for whatever reason the therapist you match with isn't quite right for you, you can request a switch at no additional cost. So if you're interested in getting started with therapy, you can get 10% off your first month by going to betterhelp.com/Christina Majas, or you can scan this QR code. I'll leave everything linked in the description. Thanks so much, BetterHelp. Now let's get into the video. The first thing I would tell my younger self when it came to my personal style would be that you are good enough. And that's because looking back, I had a lot of issues with self-esteem and self-confidence, and I often turned to things like shopping for new clothes to make me feel better about myself. The whole look good, feel good thing does have a lot of validity to it, but I was trying to look good without feeling good enough to begin with. And really what I would say today is you are good enough, and you can use clothes as a tool to express how you feel. And looking back, I think that's why I shopped so much, because I was trying to find ways to feel good enough about myself with all these external factors and in particular using style to do that. When really it's something that needs to work together, and you need that foundation and inner confidence and inner self-respect to be able to make the clothes work for you. The second thing I would tell myself is more related to how to find your personal style. And it's that you'll find your style by wearing your clothes, not in shopping for them. Of course, shopping is a part of developing style. You need to find ways to pay for clothes and buy them. I mean, there are other resources like hand-me-downs, clothing swaps, etc., but there certainly is an exchange of time and money for the garment. So you can't completely eliminate shopping from the equation, but I will tell you with certainty that when I was constantly shopping for clothes, that's when I just got more and more confused about my personal style, because I was focused so much on bringing new things in and evolving my wardrobe instead of focusing on wearing the clothes I already had or even wearing the clothes that I bought. I have a ton of videos on how to figure out your personal style using the clothes you already have. I'll leave all of them linked down below if you want to check them out. I think so many of us truly believe that finding a good style and learning what our style is for us comes from shopping for new clothes rather than just learning to use and wear what you've got already. I really had to learn how to shop my own closet, I had to declutter it, and I had to learn the art of outfit repeating and styling in order to figure out my style for me. And it wasn't until I found my style and felt good in it and consistent enough in it that I could start making smarter shopping decisions, because I knew what I liked and I knew what I was going to wear. And I even knew how far to push it when it came to experimentation. So instead of shopping and spending, try wearing and using and see what you learn. The third thing about style and clothes that I would tell myself is that buying clothes isn't going to solve what you don't like about yourself. This really kind of goes back to point number one, where you really truly have to start believing that you are enough. Of course, there's ways that we can always improve ourselves, but that doesn't ever have to diminish who we are today in this moment. And I used to think that shopping could help solve that. Oh, I'm stressed. Time for some retail therapy. Oh, my thighs look too big. I better buy a new pair of pants to hide that. Or this is not flattering, so I need this new wardrobe to fix it. Honestly, figuring this out is easier said than done, and I think there's always going to be some things that we don't like about ourselves and our bodies, but I don't think that ever means that we don't deserve to feel good in our clothes right now. And I know I say this with a lot of privilege as being someone who is a conventional size, but that's why I love things like the body neutrality and even the body positivity movement, because I think it gives people courage to embrace themselves, embrace their bodies, and when it comes to personal style, to dress your body in the way that you want to look and the way you want to feel. Shopping isn't necessarily the thing that's going to solve it. It really goes back to wearing your clothes, experimenting, and learning to accept, like, and even fall in love with who you see staring back at you in the mirror. Number 4 is that it's okay to be seen and photographed in the same outfit twice. In fact, it's probably better. I remember in my teens or early 20s, I was either reading an article or watching like MTV or Much Music, but I'll never forget it, and it was related to Madonna. She said that she would never be caught in an outfit more than once. And I just remember that being etched into my brain and thinking, that's the way to do it. That's where I started to get the idea of, oh, you couldn't wear the same dress to more than one event. And that really became the norm, I think, for a lot of us. And really, when I think about it today, when it comes to my own style inspiration and influencers I follow, I tend to follow outfit repeaters. I tend to follow people who wear similar outfits or repeat the exact same outfit over and over again. And to me, I find that extremely inspiring. And if anything, just tells me that they really know themselves and they know their style. And it took me basically a decade to learn this, but you'll truly find your personal style through repeating outfits and outfit formulas rather than experimenting all the time with new things and new trends. I'm not saying to never do that, because that is fun and it's a great way that you can help your style evolve, but I think a lot of us truly do have a root and a core personal style that we tend to stick to, and that tends to be a through line, especially if you really do know yourself and know your style. If you're having any trouble finding your own style uniform, I have a free Notion template that I created. I can leave it linked down below, and it can help you narrow down your own personal style uniform for your everyday life. Next, I would tell myself not to buy it just because it's on sale. This is something that I have to remind myself even today, because who doesn't love a good deal? But if it's an item that I really hadn't planned on buying, most of the time that's the thing that ends up not being worn and ultimately decluttered later. A great reminder is that you save 100% of the money you don't spend. And if you weren't planning on buying it, then it's not really a good deal at the end of the day. Don't settle for good enough. Nowadays, when I'm shopping, I really don't want to settle for anything less than what I want. And sometimes these are higher ticket items where I might be tempted to buy a cheaper version or a dupe. But what often ended up happening with me is that I wouldn't be satisfied with the dupe, and I would end up buying the real thing anyway. So I'd end up spending double the money at the end of the day. Not settling for less than what you want, I think, takes a lot of patience and delayed gratification, which is something that I had to learn and really didn't figure out until I was well out of my 20s. But I feel like my style now is better because of it, and my money feels a lot better spent. Number 7 is personal to me, and it's that you love jeans, girl. Own it. Sometimes there's a category in our wardrobe that we just know we love, and that's perfectly okay. I think it takes a level of confidence and acceptance to own that, and as long as it's not overwhelming you and causing you any other harm or stress, who cares? Enjoy. Number 8 is to stop copying people. No wonder you don't feel like yourself. I feel like I really came into getting a lot more interested in style and outfits in the era when Pinterest first came out, and I think that's really where my sort of obsession with finding and replicating the exact outfits with the exact pieces really started for me. Instead of taking a photo that I was attracted to and inspired by and figuring out how I could inject some of that inspiration into myself and my own style, I would go shopping to copy and paste that exact look on myself. Kind of like those paper dolls. Do you guys remember those? And for the most part, all of that truly felt like a costume to me. It was part of either my fantasy self, and I think I truly felt so off in a lot of these outfits because it just felt inauthentic. I think when you truly find your personal style, it's a way that you can express yourself and how you want to look and feel through the clothes that you put on your body. And of course, inspiration is really important, but I think the key is really understanding what's for you in that look and what potentially may not be. Number 9 is that I'm allowed to like things that everybody else likes. Sometimes I feel like I really have given off pick me girl energy in the past, like not like other girls, or I can't like quote unquote basic things like pumpkin spice lattes, Ugg boots. I don't know, even wearing makeup or dresses. Looking back, I especially felt that pick me energy when I was like deep into minimalism, where I was basically rejecting any and all of the things that I liked in the name of having less, aka the least. And what I learned about that was that it felt really inauthentic, and that, hey, it's okay to like the things that you like. Own that. That's you. You like it. Who cares? And if you want to know more about the Pick Me Girl and kind of what that means, I'll leave a few video essays linked down below. And the final style and shopping tip that I would tell myself when I was younger is to focus on quality over quantity. Now with this, I'm not saying you need to spend $50 on a t-shirt, because I do think there are places where you can spend and save in your wardrobe. I think our financial allocation when it comes to clothing is different, and not all clothes are created equal. But overall, especially if it's clothes that you find yourself wearing a lot, I think it is better to invest in quality to maximize that cost per wear rather than valuing quantity first. Because I find, especially in my 20s, when I put my value on quantity and getting more and more and more, that's where all that overwhelm and style confusion started for me. So those are all of the personal style and I would say personal growth tips that I would tell my younger self. Let me know if any of these points resonated with you, and let me know what you would tell your younger self. Thank you so much again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. If you did want to get 10% off your first month of therapy, you can go to my link in the description, betterhelp.com/ChristinaMachas, or you can scan this QR code right here. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and if you like podcasts, I have one right here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.